Christmas gift this morning when it successfully launched its most powerful space telescope ever.
We have engine start. And liftoff.
Décollage.
Decollage, liftoff from a tropical rainforest to the edge of time itself. James Webb begins a voyage back to the birth of the universe.
The launch of the James Webb Telescope was more than 20 years in the making, involving thousands of scientists, multiple countries, and it will likely change the way we see the universe. CNN space correspondent Kristen Fisher is covering the launch for us this morning. Kristen, this rocket still has a pretty perilous journey ahead, though.
It does, Jessica. Good morning. And NASA has a name for it. It's called the 29 days on edge. You know, anytime there's a Mars rover or a rover that tries to land on Mars, they have that 7 minutes of terror where they lose communication with the rover. Well, for the Webb Space Telescope, it's going to take 29 days for it to fully get into its final configuration. There's more than 300 single points of failure as this massive tennis court-sized telescope literally unfolds like an origami in space. And it's going to be doing it as it travels 1 million miles away from Earth. So, Jessica, if anything goes wrong, this is not like the Hubble Space Telescope where astronauts can go out and do a spacewalk and fix it. This is going out to a point in space called L2. It's the second Lagrange point. It's orbiting the sun, and it's so far away that no astronaut is going to be able to repair it. So everything has to go perfectly right. But let's just take a moment and marvel at what happened this morning. This is a moment literally 3 decades in the making. There have been so many delays. There have been so many moments where the Webb telescope might not have happened. Today, for it to successfully launch from French Guiana, what an incredible moment for NASA and all of those scientists and engineers who've made it possible.
I know, it gives me chills listening to you describe all of it. You talked about the delays, though, and it's been decades in the making. Walk us through a little bit of what it took to get to this point.
Well, there have been financial issues. I mean, it's $9 billion over budget. It was supposed to launch initially 10 years ago. So this is 10 years delayed, $9 billion over budget. There have been political constraints. There have been issues about the telescope's names. And one of the other things was simply getting this telescope to the launch pad in French Guiana. Jessica, think about this. I mean, it's massively expensive, right? You have to put this telescope on a ship, sail it to French Guiana because it's so big. And one of the things that they were so worried about, or that they had to at least consider, was the possibility of pirates potentially trying to, steal this very expensive telescope. Of course, that did not happen, but that was part of the reason there was a little bit of secrecy involved in terms of letting the public know exactly when and where this telescope was. So it avoided any pirates. The telescope avoided any, issues during launch. Now we just have to keep our fingers crossed and hope that everything goes okay over the next 29 days. But as of now, Jessica, everything looks great. The solar arrays have unfurled. It is getting its own power from the sun right now. And there's a press conference happening right now, and everybody on the ground says everything looks great. So let's hope it stays that way.
Absolutely. 29 days, you said, on edge. We'll wait and see what happens. And Kristen, it's so good to see you. My old friend, we go way back to our beginning days in television in Little Rock together. Merry Christmas to you, my friend.
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Good to see you too.